and welcome to our team meeting. Can you please just like, Gary's here. We have a special guest, by the way. How are we doing today? How are we doing today?
I'm doing well. Are you talking to me?
Awesome. So just a heads up, two. How are you? Perfect. Guys, are we ready to start? You guys started? Okay. So just a heads up, we're gonna be running a little bit over today. Is everyone okay with that? Kind of. Perfect. So let's get started by welcoming our new agents. Please, if you're a new agent to the office, stand up and introduce yourself. Do we have any new agents in the office? Any new guest? Please stand up and introduce yourself. Yeah. Perfect. Our lunch was brought to us today by Danny Thompson with Goosehead Insurance. Danny, please come on up. And the team. Danny.
That sandwich is okay? Have y'all met Lexi yet?
Thank you, Maria.
Hi. Hi, if y'all haven't met me, I'm Lexi. Sell insurance and a lot of it. Weird. Obviously, we work with over 40 to 100 different carriers based on your client's needs. We can run clue reports, flood zone determinations, obviously run some comprehensive quotes on everything but life and health, but we do have a carrier or two that we can refer out for life and health as well now. So we're your all-in spot for your insurance needs.
What about that carrier management?
We have a carrier market share, which has been really useful recently. I don't know if y'all have had issues figuring out insurance rates. I had one of your agents recently use me for this. We can go in and use the zip code. So if you give me a zip code, I can go find the average premium in that zip code for home, auto, flood, wind, whatever the case may be. So all I need is that zip and I can do that for you.
And then jumping on that, we also can kind of dive in there and figure out exactly what carrier's offering those rates, right? So if it's a carrier we have, great, we can place it. If it's not, someone can go get appointed with. We just added a bunch of new surplus line stuff for Houston. So as the market here continues to evolve, we have some additional stuff, additional tools. And then we also have some A-rated carriers who have Goosehead only products. So home insurance product that only we can write at Goosehead with some very competitive rates in the market. So a ton of different stuff coming down the pipe for us to help you guys out a little bit better.
Yeah, absolutely. Just want to tag along on that one. My name's Karina. I'm also an insurance agent with the Sexton and Thompson agency. I just to hop off on that. So as she was saying, clue reports, why are these important? Who knows what a clue report is? Woohoo! Yeah, so we're super familiar with those. Those are going to be our prime time things that we need to get before shooting those numbers over to the lender, right? So why are we super important? The realtors are having to show their value a lot more these days. And all in all, those are going to be one of the things that can help provide an additional value to your client, as well as get ahead of the game when it comes to numbers to those lenders. So again, anything that we can help on the insurance side of things. Yeah, question?
Can you hear me? Okay. Does that clue report transfer to the buyer of the property? And if there's a series of bad things that happen to the property, you have to take on that
It
responsibility?
depends on the carrier. Some carriers will take anything that happened at that property and hold it against it. Some of the stuff just sticks to the person. So it just depends. We know what carriers do what. That's why we have so many carriers, is so if you have a situation where you're not able to get a policy, it may very well be something we can finagle to find the right carrier that doesn't care about a certain situation. Again, that's why we have so many.
And real quick, just close that out. On the clue report is basically the loss summary of the home, right? So any claim that's been filed, typically it's always going to be a closed out claim, which means the new carrier is going to accept it. The odd situations where there's still an open claim, right? So they filed the roof claim, they didn't replace it. And now all of a sudden it's like, hey, we got a 30-year roof, but they've already filed the insurance claim and spent the money. So to your point, like Danny says, we got some carriers we can work around with that. Also, flood insurance is becoming, I mean, you guys down here in Houston, a really, really big deal. We've just added 6 new surplus line flood A-rated carriers as well that kind of meet the NFIP guidelines. as well as we've had a few recent scenarios where we've had some homes that looked like they were in zone AE with a few carriers in zone X and another. So some of you guys are familiar with flood insurance, that's almost an 80% discount. So we're able to kind of shop the market now a little bit heavier with flood insurance. Mhm. Absolutely, yeah. We can run the flood zone determination. Yeah, so for in Houston, we'll send over a flood zone determination for you as well as the clue report, just so you know what you're dealing with. It's a lot different when you got $500 in flood insurance getting tacked onto that loan that you just didn't know was gonna go there. Yeah. Right, and that's someone we want to talk to directly. The portal's a great interface for your cookie cutter mom and pop, 80%, but when it comes to that, getting you in front of a surplus line carrier or some of the other A-rated ones that aren't in the rater, we'll be able to look at it and know right away where that needs to go.
And we've also got one carrier that they allow to put a sealant on the roof, which extends it, makes it possible to cover it. So we need to talk to you.
I get that a lot.
We're also working on having an office downstairs. Hopefully in the next week or so, we'll actually physically be here. So just on the first floor. So we'll,
Any questions, feel free, pop in. Sodas, drinks, coffee's down there as well, so.
oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
the next slide.
Yeah.
We have actually after this.
So we have a happy hour today at 3 o'clock, right?
Yes, bring your business cards. We want to get a business card from each and every one of you. We'll share ours as well. But yeah, we'd love it if you guys can come out and hang out with us, get to know us, and ask us any more questions you may have. It's
Kirby's
at
Memorial.
Kirby's
It's not on there.
Ice
Oh,
House.
Yeah, but Kirby's Ice House just down the road.
Emails from Danny. But yeah, he did email y'all.
Yeah, Kirby's Ice House. Oh.
I don't have to worry about that. I don't know why.
Yeah,
So happy hour at Kirby Ice House from 3 to 5 p.m.
have some
Please,
drinks, have some food, bring your questions. Love to meet you guys in person.
Danny and the team, thank you so much.
Thanks.
You, gentlemen. Big round of applause. Thank you. And now. And now, let's get the updates from our preferred lender, Tufi with GFS.
Good afternoon, everyone. If y'all don't know me, I'm Tufi with GFS Go Financial Services. I'm happy to be here today. Just a couple of things I want to go over before I talk about mortgage update. I wanted to thank everyone who was here this past Saturday. Can I see a raise of hands who was here for Saturday? Yes, look at these newbies. Okay, I got a challenge for everybody. Just had this discussion 10 minutes ago with Roger and Michael. So we know BOLD is starting tomorrow. We are committed to helping agents grow. So I would be co-sponsoring an agent who signs up today.
It is
went out.
working.
Wait,
It is working, just like.
hello, it's
Yes.
working, okay. So I am co-sponsoring agents. So anyone who signs up today, we will be picking the agent and paying for half of it,
Perfect.
right?
Perfect, yes. We're gonna have a draw right now, and then we'll let you know the winner
Yes,
actually.
this afternoon.
Perfect,
yes.
perfect.
So make sure don't sign up right during the meeting, but we're gonna announce it, the winner at 2 o'clock.
Perfect.
How many are we at right now, guys?
34, 30.
36. Guys, we need 4 more to sign up for BOLD. 4 more to sign up for BOLD. If you want to get your business into the next level or beyond,
Yeah.
sign up for BOLD.
Perfect.
Okay, back to mortgage updates. Oops. Go
Go ahead.
ahead.
No, actually, go ahead. We really need to. ask
Okay,
you
mortgage
about
update. So basically, we're all patiently waiting for the interest rates to decrease. Please let your buyers know that if you're sitting on the fence, let's not wait. Because once rates start going down, everyone's gonna be bombarded and be busy. So let's be proactive and let's go ahead and get them pre-qualified upfront. Because once we get them pre-qualified, it's gonna go just like that. Tara and I just closed the deal and it went so quick. VA loan closed in 2.5 weeks. It was about 2.5 weeks away. It just went by so quick. She didn't even realize it. But before I wrap everything up, everybody knows, make sure you guys do your KW Cares because I bought it. How many tickets do you guys think I got?
22,
Who said 22?
22,
That's wrong. Next.
42.
12. Who said 12? Yay. Come see me after the meeting. And one more thing, because who was here during the Asian New Year meeting in February? Do you remember? You guys had to all look under your seats to win something. Okay, don't check underneath your seat this time, Belle. She was reaching. But I did put 12 scratch off ticket. It is taped underneath the desk. So if you feel you're lucky, look underneath your desk. It's tape. And if it's empty around you, woo, look at the lucky people. Yes. Yes. That's not 12 people. There's got to be other people. Yes. Good luck to y'all. Just one disclaimer. If you guys win big money, I get half, okay? Y'all have a great meeting.
Thank you too. And now let's move to the haves and wants. We will take the first 5 agents. Who would like to start? Do you have any listing that you would like to promote? Please come on up. Who else? Nancy, please.
Okay, Linda and I have got a beautiful listing in Lakeside Forest. It is a 5-bedroom, which you don't find very often, and it has 2 masters. Been completely redone, and we're listed at, remind me, 649. So if you've got somebody looking, our clients are really motivated to get this property under contract.
Thank you, Zofia. Please come on up.
Hi, I have a beautiful listing in Woodway Point. It's 1046 Augusta, so you can walk from here to there. So easy. It's all just been redone. It's 1702 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. It's been just painted, brand new flooring, brand new carpeting. All the plumbing pipes have been replaced. It's vacant, easy breezy to show. If anyone wants to see it real quickie today, when I leave the meeting, I'm going to go straight there. And you can follow me or whatever, but just take a quick look at it. You're very welcome. And it's 305. So it's ready to move into. So you got someone who's moving into town, wants a great school district in Spring Branch. So jump on it. Okay.
Thank you,
I'm
Nancy.
sorry, not Spring Branch, HISD, but it's really good schools in HISD.
Thank you, Nancy. Raj.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is Arash. I have 5 listings, 2 of them coming today and 2 of them coming next month, and 1 of them will be by end of October. But that 2 are coming to these afternoons. They are on in 77077, 77082, and the other 3 they are 77024, 77079. So whoever looking for in Gessner area, Memorial area, that house will be ready soon in 1.5 months. Is under paint now, complete remodel. And another one in 77079, also complete remodel. If you have a client that they are really looking for complete rehab house, please reach out to me. My name is Arash. Phone number 346-232-8946. Thank you. 1.3.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Come on. Thank you, Arash.
you.
Hi, I'm Tara. I have 2 new listings in Katy coming up. One is not so beautiful, so that's why I wanted to talk about it.
Okay.
But what's super unique about it is it has 2 kitchens, one full kitchen upstairs, stove, microwave, oven, and the full kitchen downstairs. It is in that West Green subdivision off of Psalms between West Green and Fry Road. And it's gonna be priced at $320. They painted it themselves, they remodeled it themselves, they raised their family there, but it really could be more beautiful than what it is now. They just did a sloppy job painting, and I'm really sad because I could get more money for it, but it is what it is. And it's a great opportunity for first-time home buyers. And also Two-Fee has allowed me to put riders on all my listings for special financing. So I'm going to take that opportunity to, for this price point to get that. My next listing is a beautiful listing in Canyon Gate. Took the listing last night. It'll go live in a few weeks. We've got a declutter, but it's also going to be in that 380 price point. It does have a beautiful swimming pool, 1-story. It's a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. So if y'all were looking for anything in Katy, those two will be coming soon. Thanks.
Thank you, Tara. Okay, last one is Lisa. We'll make it work for you, just like.
Thanks. Okay, so I have a new listing that's going to go active on Thursday. It's in coming soon right now. It's in Maplewood. We've priced it at $575, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, just under 2,100 square feet. But the amazing part is the backyard. Guys, this backyard is absolutely stunning. She's shaking her head because she just did the brochures for me. Rachel did. So it's got 3 raised beds, a fire pit, a little shed, a covered area with TV, and still has green space. It has never flooded, not in the flood zone to Bel Air. The second thing that I have is a lease. How many in here have leases right now and they're sitting? Yeah. Okay. So I have a lease. We just dropped the price. It's $3,500 a month for a very large, like 2,700 square foot. Yes. 3-bedroom, 3-bath with an office in Shady Acres. It's a great location. The last time we listed it, we had 5 offers overnight. So I don't know if anybody else is having this problem, but let's get out here and show these leases.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lisa. And now let's get the market update from the one and only Michael Bossard. Michael?
So first I want to bring up Sarah. Come on up. It's always fun to be a new agent in our first year. So I'm going to go over the numbers real quick. And when I do, you're going to see we've hit a little bit of a slowdown. Sarah's like, why'd you bring me up?
Hi, Sarah.
Can I have a little help here? All right. So what's going on in the market? This is just what we get from HAR. New listings are down about 6%. We had 2,800 last week versus 3,000 a year ago. Pending listings are also down about 11%. So we've seen a little bit of a shakeup in the market. We haven't seen a drop like that in a little while. Nothing to panic over. But with the things that happened a couple of weeks ago with NAR, we've seen a little bit of a rebound, kind of like the listings that are leases that are kind of people are holding on. Off market is up about 10%. And now closings are up slightly. So it's insignificant. It's just about 3%. We're seeing less showings by about 3,000. People are taking a look and just seeing what's going on. There's a lot of misinformation out there, right? Fortunately, we have a lot of advocates that are pushing what's really going on. Nothing to worry about. July is going to be here. Some people are waiting until July. We know that July is going to be gangbusters. It's going to be very busy in the market based on all the trends, and we're trying to get you prepared. So one of the things that we have a group that has started a script practice. Your script practice you just had, how many people are showing up to that? So 5 to 10,
All right.
and some are on Zoom and some
Hi.
are in person.
Yes.
Okay, so my assistant, Melissa, who's probably on this call, put together 119 pages of different scripts and different ways to respond because of everything that's going on. For her to do that, it was amazing. She put it together in a day, wrote them all out, did all the work. So we've got that, but we want people to use it. So I challenged you to learn just one of the scripts or two of the scripts. And
Do one.
can we do what?
Can
For-
we do one?
You want to pick your one? Can I pick one of the ones?
Oh, no, please. Okay.
Okay, so here's the scenario. Are we going to have sellers who say, I don't have to pay the buyer's agent commission, right? We all are on board. That is a possibility. It's also a possibility they say, I don't have to pay 3% to the buyers. So now that's going to be a question, right? What if your client is, let's say they're a VA? How do they handle that? How do they buy that property? So we're going to have some tough conversations. Do you think it's important that we learn scripting? You damn well better believe it. You better learn what to say. So I'll start off with, I am the agent. I'm sorry, in this case, I'm the seller. Does this mean I have to pay you now?
Wait, that's the buyer one. I
Sorry, that's
think.
the, sorry, wrong script. I'm the buyer,
Okay,
right?
perfect.
Do I have
Yes.
to pay you?
Do I have to pay you now? Okay. So not necessarily, no. So if you think about it, as a buyer, you have always indirectly been paying the buyer's agent's compensation through the selling price. So when a seller lists their property, they look at multiple factors. The market value and what they'll net. And what's part of the net? Their costs. So as we have always been compensated through the listings compensation, yes. We are now going to be more transparent on how that process works. Does that make any sense?
It does.
Okay.
And it's as simple as that. It's just, yeah.
We just started this group, okay? So we just did it.
And they're
3
going to keep
sessions
getting
only,
better
so
and better. Be a part of it. How do they sign up? How do they be a part of it?
text me, DM me, email me, and I will add you to the WhatsApp group and to the meeting invites. I am kind of strict. Please make it a reoccurrent thing to show up, because otherwise, well, we're trying to keep the group consistent. It's every Monday and Friday. Mondays at 4 p.m. and Friday at 1 p.m.
How long
straight
does it
after Toastmasters. 1 hour practice.
So 1 hour committing to your business or 2 hours a week to your business to get the scripts down. And there's 119 pages of scripts. You're going to want to learn these so you can get your unfair share of the market. There's going to be a shakeup, and that's okay. That's a good thing. We're going to come out stronger than we did before all of this. When you're doing script practice, even if you do it with somebody else, it's okay to make them struggle a little bit, but you always want them to win in the end, right? That's how we build confidence. So if you're going to do stuff on your own, we want to make them struggle a little bit through it, and then we want to help them win, right? Because that's what we're going to need. You don't want to help them along, but you want to make them push to get the answer.
And if you can't make it in person, it's also virtual.
It is,
Sarah,
that's right.
Sarah, can you give us your number?
Oh, it's 346-664-9763.
Can you go a little faster?
346-664-9763.
People are like, it's not a 713 or a 281. You got to start over. Did everybody get
Sorry.
that?
I will talk to you later. Then.
Rachel,
Okay.
you have a question? Perfect. Yes.
Oh, okay, that's our script.
Perfect. And now please help me welcome our newest preferred partner, Keith Johnson with homesmiles.com. Keith, please come on up. Welcome. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm the franchise owner for Houston and the surrounding communities, Katy, Missouri City, Sugar Land, and we provide home maintenance services. Everything from exterior gutter cleaning, windows, power washing, to interior services like flushing the hot water heater, dryer vent cleaning, all the P-traps clean. So basically it gets a home absolutely ready to show. So it helps with listing presentations. You can also use this as an incentive for potential customers. We work with a lot of agents and a lot of property managers. We're one-stop shop for all these services. To give you just a ballpark idea, for a 3,500 square foot house, to do all 18 points, interior and exterior, just under $1,000. If you just want the exterior, the windows, power washing, gutter cleaning, that is 700. And if you want the interior, that'd be 450. That gives you an idea. It's all based on square footage. We're really efficient. We have some neat technology for gutter cleaning. We go up to 3 stories and we use a commercial industrial vacuum. We vacuum it out. We're not on ladders. We can get on ladder. We do that also to flush the gutters sometimes, but we also can clean the roof off. We also use deionized water. It's a filter process that the large commercial glass cleaners use. It takes all the streaking away and helps clean the windows so you don't have to use the squeegee. So I'd love to meet you. And just to get it kickstarted a little bit, I'm looking for references. So 3 people today will give you your choice of exterior or interior. Anybody that has a birthday in October. Okay, boy.
You have more than 3.
Okay. Anybody October 3rd?
That's my dad. That is my.
4? Who's 4?
October 4?
Okay, y'all. Okay, the 4 stand up. Okay. I'll
Keith, you're in trouble. You have to like increase the
I'll
amount.
I'll do a couple more. How about a December? December?
12/24.
Okay, what's your
You need access.
what's yours? October 3rd was my birthday, by the way. What is it? 29th? 21st? 6th?
24th.
24? What was another one? I'm looking for the closest to what? 17. I'm looking for the closest to 14. I think he got it. Is that right? My wife's birthday. Here you go. Here you go. And if you want, you can give this to a customer. It's up to you. And then we'll do one more.
So Keith, what are you giving away?
Yeah, what are they getting
I'm
on that,
giving
Keith?
out what a full exterior package, or if you want the interior package, either or. And so you can use it on your home, or if you want to give it to a client.
That's huge.
Okay. And so the June date. June birthdays. Okay. Date, number. June. June 9th. Okay. And anniversary date, 33 years coming up this year, is June 15th.
Whoa.
I've got literature outside. Come see me. I'd love to meet all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Keith. Thank you
Good
so
job,
much.
Keith.
Let's talk about both. Okay, perfect. And now our second preferred partner for today is College Hunks. Drake Smith with College Hunks. Please come on up, Drake. Drake is not here. So let's set up Colette, please. We have Colette waiting on Zoom. Perfect. So in honor to the Fair Housing Months, we have a special guest today, Colette Messingill from NAR. Please help me welcome Colette.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are you doing?
So we're here at
Good. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Oh, wait. Oh, can I? Or is that possible?
We can try this one.
It's saying I can't share while the others are sharing. So, all right, let's see. All right, fantastic. So,
Hold on a sec. Can we get more volume, guys?
yeah, can you hear me okay?
You've been having trouble with the volume.
Just give us a second, Colette.
Okay, sure.
Go ahead, Colette.
All right, can you see my screen okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so I'm just going to provide an update on sort of what's happening on the federal and the national level with respect to fair housing. So on the agenda today, talk a little bit about, excuse me, modern day redlining, what we're doing around special purpose credit programs and credit scoring. There was a really interesting case out of Baltimore around appraisal bias, and the plaintiffs in that case actually settled with the lender. So there's some really good takeaways from the settlement with the lender. They didn't settle with the appraiser, but they did settle with the lender. So there's some really good sort of best practices I'm sure lenders are kind of paying attention to with regard to appraisal bias. I'll give a little bit of an update on NAR's ACT initiative, and then share some of the NAR Fair Housing Month events that are happening for the month of April. So with that, I will just go ahead and dive right in. So modern day redlining, it actually occurs when lenders discourage loan applications or deny equal access to home loans and other credit services, or they may avoid providing home loans and other credit services in particular neighborhoods. And they do so based on race or color or national origin. And we know that this type of action, this type of behavior violates, among other requirements, it violates the Fair Housing Act and the Equal Credit Opportunity Act. So in 2021, the Department of Justice established an initiative. It's called the Combating Redlining Initiative. And it's built on their sort of long history in their efforts of making mortgage credit and homeownership available to all Americans on the same terms. So what's happening? Why did DOJ do this initiative? So they wanted to crack down on issues that were happening around the country. So financial institutions were closing branches in majority neighborhoods. You have situations where loan officers are steering clients to certain neighborhoods or to less favorable loan products. You have financial institutions that are not making efforts in marketing materials to minority and underserved communities. And you have lenders denying minority communities at a much greater rate than white communities. And in some instances, the DOJ has found racial slurs and so forth in work emails. So the DOJ's purpose for this initiative is to stop these practices. And here's an example of a case out of Philadelphia. So in this case, the complaint alleged that Trident violated the Fair Housing Act, the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, and the Consumer Financial Protection Act by engaging in what they call a pattern or practice of unlawful redlining in the Philadelphia metropolitan statistical area. So what is it that Trident was doing? So essentially, they were maintaining nearly all of their offices and all of their loan officers in majority white neighborhoods and avoiding having offices or loan officers in majority minority areas. And they also concentrated all of their outreach, advertising, and marketing in majority white neighborhoods and avoided marketing in majority minority areas. So Trident has since entered into a consent order. And so what does this consent order require them to do? So they have agreed to invest $18 million in loan subsidy funds to increase credit opportunities for current and future residents of predominantly Black and Hispanic neighborhoods in Philadelphia. They've agreed to designate up to $850,000 to targeted advertising and outreach, $375,000 to consumer financial education, and $750,000 to develop community partnerships to provide services that increase access to residential mortgage credit in Black and Hispanic neighborhoods. So that's just an example of one of the cases where we're seeing this modern day redlining. Since this initiative began, there have been 12 settlements that the DOJ has been involved with. They've secured over $122 million in funding. And so some of the things that they're trying to do with this funding essentially require, so very similar to what you saw in the Trident case, require the establishment of full service branches in majority Black and Hispanic neighborhoods, and assign dedicated loan officers to serve these communities, hire lending officers to ensure that there is compliance, and dedicate funding for advertising, outreach, consumer education, and community partnerships. So that is just a little bit about the redlining initiative that's happening and sort of what the DOJ has been doing in that space. Also wanted to take a little bit of time to talk about where we are with special purpose credit programs. You probably have heard of them. They are a tool, we call them SPCPs. They're a tool that allow lenders to identify groups that have special needs and provide services. These groups tend to be low and moderate income households, first-time and first-generation buyers, women, veterans, as well as people of color. And so the goal is that SPCPs are intended to sort of help fix the market failures and acknowledge that there are certain credit-worthy groups that are not being served. And according to the law, they're not. It's not considered discrimination to create these programs. They've been legal since the 1970s, so over 50 years. And in fact, President Gerald Ford actually signed this bill into law. So whereas NAR stand on special purpose credit programs, we have established policy in support of these programs because we believe that they expand homeownership. We stand beside our partners, Mortgage Bankers Association, and in fact, other state and local realtor associations who are supporting and advancing these programs in their communities. And so we believe as advocates for homeownership that we want to be supportive of programs that actually expand homeownership in a responsible manner. So SPCPs have started to take a foothold. A lot of the programs sort of center around down payment, closing costs, interest rate buy downs, and government agencies have given the green light to programs and provided that legal certainty for those folks who had some concerns. So lenders of all sizes have created them. Nonprofits have been creating them. So adoption has been a little bit slow. But both Fannie and Freddie have been working to encourage these programs, and we hope, as in the next couple of years, to see more and more of them popping up. Also wanted to talk a little bit about credit scoring. So for decades, an outdated version of FICO is being used to give borrowers a credit score, and I'm sure you all are familiar with that. Unfortunately, what it meant is that many borrowers who what we call are either thin file or no file, didn't have anything in their credit report, didn't have access to homeownership. So the Federal Housing Finance Agency, which is the body that oversees Fannie and Freddie, they have begun a process of overhauling a credit scoring and qualifying for a mortgage. So FHFA is adopting a model to accept an updated version of FICO, as well as other entrants to offer these different credit scoring models. So these new models, so what do these new models do? So they include or take into consideration or take into account payments such as rental payments, utility payments, and phone bills. And these are bills that consistently show a consumer's ability to pay. So you kind of wonder, why hadn't we thought of this sooner? But in the past, consumers would be punished if they didn't pay these bills, but would never get credit for paying them. So this is changing, and NAR's advocacy played a big role in this development. So we're really, really excited to see how this unfolds. Also want to talk a little bit about appraisal bias. I know you probably have seen some cases in the news. This is an interesting case out of Baltimore, Maryland. I have to be speaking to you from Washington, D.C., so I'm not too far from Baltimore. So this case involved two plaintiffs, a husband and wife, both doctors. They're professors at Johns Hopkins University. They live in a beautiful neighborhood. I'm very familiar with it. It's called Homeland. It's in Baltimore. It's a residential neighborhood, beautiful architecture, beautiful homes and landscape and design. In 2021, plaintiffs applied to Loan Depot to refi their mortgage. They want to take advantage of historically low interest rates. They had made some substantial improvements to their home to include a new tankless water heater. They had made $35,000 worth of renovations, so they knew that their home was going to be valued at more than what they purchased it for. They spoke to the appraiser, and he was warm over the phone, and they thought everything was going to be fine. Unfortunately, when the appraiser arrived, his demeanor changed, was very different from how it was when they spoke to him the night before, didn't respond to any of their questions, didn't make any eye contact, and ultimately appraised their home for $472,000. So Dr. Connolly and Dr. Mott happened to be professors of history. And so they had a sense of what they thought were going on. And in fact, Dr. Connolly was an expert in redlining. Turns out a few months after their first appraisal, they obtained a second one. This time they removed family photos, had a white male colleague stand in for them. And the second appraiser appraised the value of the house at $750,000. And they had not made any additional improvements to the home, and home prices had not meaningfully changed. So at any rate, the plaintiffs did settle, as I mentioned, with the lenders. So here's some takeaways from this settlement with Loan Depot. So what did Loan Depot agree to do? They agreed to communicate clearly to applicants that they have a right to request a reconsideration of value, explain what the process is and who will review the ROV and the standards that trigger that second appraisal. They also agreed that applicants will receive a copy of the appraisal as soon as practical, and that they will provide information to applicants about the right to file a complaint with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and with HUD. What else did Loan Depot agree to do? They agreed to review appraisals internally to see if there was any evidence of discrimination and flag those appraisals if there was evidence present. They also agreed to require training for all appropriate credit valuation and customer service staff on fair housing and fair lending laws and regulations, the history of discrimination in residential mortgage lending and appraisals, the continuing nature of appraisal discrimination as reflected in the various studies and reports that have been done. So training is now going to be a part of what they do. They're going to be using HMDA data to conduct statistical analysis of appraisal practices. And what else? They also they've agreed to include in any contract with an appraisal management company requirement for appraisers to receive training in fair housing laws and regulations. Also in these contracts with the appraisal management company, they will have appraisers certified that they have not been the subject of any adverse finding related to a complaint of bias or discrimination. They've agreed that they won't utilize any appraisers who have previously been found to have discriminated in an appraisal. And they will not use appraisers who have received multiple complaints from minority applicants or applicants in minority neighborhoods alleging appraisal bias or discrimination. And with their fair and responsible lending policy, it will explicitly prohibit discrimination in appraisals and in the appraisal process, and just state very clearly that it's a violation of the Fair Housing Act and the Equal Credit Opportunity Act. So some really interesting kind of takeaways from that appraisal case. Now I'm going to sort of switch and talk a little bit about some updates to NAR's Act. Fair Housing Act initiative, which hopefully you all are familiar with. But NAR's Act initiative, as you probably may have heard, stemmed from the 3-year investigation that Newsday did in Long Island, New York. They did some testing of 9 or 10 of the largest brokerage companies over a 3-year period. And what did that testing reveal? And they used what we call paired testing. So they would, for example, they would have a white buyer and a Hispanic buyer, looking for the same, having the same characteristics, looking for the same type of house, having the same sort of financial, and they would sort of see whether or not these folks were being treated or being provided equal professional services. And so they did that with Hispanic, Black buyers, Asian buyers. And so again, 3-year investigation, and what was uncovered during the investigation was widespread evidence of unequal treatment by real estate agents on Long Island. One of the more sort of major sort of highlight statistics from that investigation was that there's unequal treatment by real estate agents 40% of the time against buyers of color. So those numbers are pretty significant. And so NAR, of course, took note. What else did the investigation uncover? Steering, refusing to show listings, showing fewer listings, putting conditions on showings, providing different information about things like neighborhoods and crime and schools. And so with our ACT initiative, NAR is focused on accountability, culture change, and training. So a little bit about that before I wrap up, a little bit about where we are with these various pillars. So under our accountability pillar, a couple of things that we're working on: self-testing, advocating for funding for fair housing enforcement, and then we also have a licensing law reform project that we're working on. So with the self-testing, what that entails is a broker. So if you're a broker, then you can participate. You can reach out to our team and say that you would like to have your agents tested. We work with a third-party organization that does testing. We focus on sales testing. So the third party will do the testing similar to what the kind of testing that they did in the Long Island divided investigation. We'll do the testing and then use the results of that testing to create a training. So in that training, we explain why testing, why we do testing, why it's important, what the process is, sort of how they did it. And then they use the results of that testing as case studies, go through the case studies, and then we share best practices. So we've done 2 trainings so far. I think we have 2 more coming up this year, brokers who have agreed to participate, and it's all confidential. And it is a risk management tool that brokers are using to see how their agents are doing when it comes to compliance with fair housing. So that is underway. We also are using our advocacy efforts to support funding for fair housing enforcement. And we've also got a licensing law reform project that we're working on. And what did we do here? We surveyed around the country all of our state fair housing education and enforcement regimes to see what they look like. We found out, one of the things that we found out is that some states did not require any kind of fair housing education at all. And so we put together, after speaking with our friends from the real estate licensing bodies, commissioners, we spoke to fair housing enforcement folks, we came up with best practices. And so we're in sort of the final stages of this project. And our hope is that this year, we will begin to present it to different audiences. Our first audience will be our Fair Housing Policy Committee. We'll take a look at this research that we've done, look at the best practices, and we'll take it from there. So again, these are the kinds of things that we're doing under our accountability pillar. Talk a little bit about what we're doing under our culture change pillar. So the C stands for culture change. We just, on April 3rd, honored our 2024 Fair Housing Champions. And the goal here is to sort of highlight and celebrate and encourage and inspire our members to get out there in their communities and do what they can to expand homeownership opportunities for folks in their communities, in their neighborhoods. So we have announced our Fair Housing Champions for 2024, And we'll be broadcasting and celebrating those folks at RLM, our mid-year conference, coming up in May. And I'll share some more information about where you can find out about kind of who they are and what they've done. We also, and I'll be wrapping up in just a second, under the T, so the T stands for training in the ACT initiative. We are in the process of updating our Fairhaven training. I'm sure, hopefully, most of you have heard of it. As you know, back in was it last year, maybe May of last year, the Board of Directors at NAR adopted a requirement that all of our members must take at least 2 hours of fair housing training starting in 2025. And so what we're doing with Fairhaven is updating it so that we'll meet it'll be a course or a training that you can do to satisfy the 2-hour requirement. We're adding some additional scenarios to the training. We're adding a history component so that you can sort of connect the dots between different practices of the past, redlining, the restrictive covenants, and kind of see how those different practices are sort of still impacting us today. And there'll be additional scenarios around things like disability, religion, and those sorts of things. So that is coming. And the good thing about the Fairhaven training is that it's free. We've gotten some fantastic feedback about it. And the training is based on actual cases. So it's inspired by real stories. So if you haven't taken the Fairhaven training, I encourage you to go ahead and do so. And then the other course that we've put out is the Bias Override course. This is a certificate course. A lot of states have been able to get 3 hours of continuing education for the Bias Override course. The goal here is to help us to interrupt stereotypical thinking so that we can avoid fair housing pitfalls, provide equal professional services, and comply with fair housing laws, as well as Article 10 of NAR, of the NAR Code of Ethics. And so this is based on sort of the mind science of bias. How does it work? How can it lead to a fair housing violation? And most importantly, it also talks about the history of bias and discrimination in real estate. It's really, again, important to understand the history. And then most important, it talks about or provides tools. We call them interventions or tools to prevent bias. And so that we can avoid some of the issues that we saw in the Long Island divided investigation. So this pretty much sums it up. I just wanted to share some of the Fair Housing Month events that we have going on. February 3rd, we had our fair housing event, Many Rivers to Cross. You can see it if you just go to NAR's Facebook page. It's still there. You can take a look. In that session, we commemorated the anniversaries of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Equal Credit Opportunity Act of 1974. And we also celebrate our 2024 Fair Housing Champions. So it's a great presentation. I encourage you to check it out. We also have coming up Drive with NAR podcast, where we'll be getting some more insights on the bias training. Our Level Up episodes will focus on fair housing principles and how to take action. And our next up session will focus on building a business or building your business or growing your business on a fair housing foundation. So all you have to do is go to NAR Fair Housing Events. Just Google NAR Fair Housing Events and check out all of these fantastic events. And with that, I will stop my share and take any questions.
Any questions for Colette? Thank you so much, Colette. Thank you for your time.
You are very welcome. If anybody has any questions down the line, please don't hesitate to reach out. Take care.
And now let's talk bold. Who hasn't signed up yet? So we have 36 spots taken. We still have 4. Who would like to sign up? 1, 2.
Is that Nate?
3. 1 more. 4. So now we're at 40. Anyone else?
All right.
That was good.
So guys, what we're going to do with this is we are going to track the progress of these bold candidates. So bold candidates, bold participants, because we want to show evidence so the next time bold comes around, people are racing to get to it. And so Safia in marketing is going to be keeping track of the progress. So as you get more and more business, we would like you to let her know so she can document this. And then we'll have that ready to go. We will have an arsenal ready to go so that if your business is sluggish, when we get this back again in 6 months, you're saying, I need to get into bold. That's what our goal is. We want you to know, we want you to see the evidence because we've already seen the results from other agents.
We
in
have
just
some
day
evidence
one.
here.
Day one.
So as Michael mentioned earlier, we have evidence from the first step in bold from Melissa and Andrea. Can I play the video, please?
So we're here at 7 p.m., right? With Coach Eddie. Melissa, how many referrals have you?
5, and I think I won. Yeah.
Yeah. Andrea, how many referrals did you get?
Yeah.
One. Who else?
I got one.
All right. Who else?
Nothing. That's 12 referrals.
Okay.
So that comes out to 1 referral a person in this. That's amazing.
So what would you like to say to your KW Memorial colleagues that missed this day?
Join us. I know. Sign up for Bold because it works.
Do you think there is potential in sign up for Bold?
There is potential.
Okay, so you got 5 leads today.
5 leads from 2 hours of doing it.
And did you get any earlier?
Yes, potential one. Yes, actually 2 during the day.
So that's 7
7
leads
today.
in your first
7.
day of Bold. And what's your average commission? Yours. What do you, your average
About
price
10,
point?
about 10K.
10K. So 7 times 10,000 of what?
70,000.
$70,000 on your first day
I
of
think
Bold.
Melissa was struggling to find the answer.
But Michael, you know what? That's why we don't have Melissa here today. She starts spending the money.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, don't start spending the money. All right, let's keep it going. We got too much to cover.
So
No. All right, guys, so we have a bunch of things going on and in the market center, people say, okay, what's the value of the market center? What do I get here as opposed to being over at XYZ? We have a number of things. One, we have a Hubert. Like I'm using Hubert right now for something where a client was screwed over because the property got foreclosed that they put an offer in on. Nobody let them know. They paid for all these inspections. So Hubert's going to write a demand letter for us to protect the client. That's not typically his role, but it's nice to be able to pull that out just at a whim. So you have that at your beck and call. We have EasyTC. Can I have Vin on the line real quick? Is she there?
I'm here, Michael.
Oh, so Angela.
Hello?
So there you are. Okay, so
Hello.
we have a free transaction coordinator, a group of them that are here to help you with your transactions. Now, do we want brand new agents to use it? We want you to kind of work through and kind of get your hands dirty a little bit, but you have them here for you. It costs you nothing. And they'll take a transaction from start to finish. And we put this in place in 2021. So we're 3 years into this and we're getting better and better and better. And yes, eventually they'll learn to do commercial. But right now it's strictly on the residential side and it's a great service. How many agents are currently using your transactions or which agents are using? Who's your biggest?
Oh, I can name a few. We have Claudia,
So
Willie
Claudia
Jack.
Hellman, 30 million in production, uses
Mhm.
EasyTC.
Yeah.
So you've got big agents using it. You've got agents that are still in the early stages of their career that are using it. It's something that saves you money. And right now, moving into this next market, you're going to want to take a look and invest in the things that really move the needle. And maybe a transaction coordinator on each file is something that's outside of where you should be spending your money. I'm not knocking transaction coordinators, but I'm just saying there might be an opportunity using a free service that we put in place for you because you're at KW Memorial. So thank you, Vin. Agent Metrics. I'm going to show you guys this program in about 2 hours in class, but just know you need to know this program very well moving into this new market. We pay for it. You pay for it every time you cut your bill to us. That's where a chunk of our money goes. Come to this class later on today. We got the disc class today as well. So here's a disc joke for you guys, dad joke. A high I son. Do you guys know what high I is? Okay, that is you. A high I son asks his dad, Dad, the eclipse, man. I just want to know all about it. I'm just so excited. Can you tell me about it? And the high C dad says, no, son. Yeah, okay. All right. Anyways, come to the age about an hour from now. People look at, I got that. That was really good. But come to the class today, right? 3 o'clock, because we're going to go through agent metrics at a high level. So you're going to know how to navigate through working with your sellers because they're looking for value, right? They're looking for value from you. And you'll get that from this program that you will not get at any other office in the city. So please be here for that.
Let's welcome Brad Frost with Synergy Roof Systems. Brad is not with us today, but look forward to seeing him next time. And Tyler Hall with Junk Loggers. And now our upcoming events.
I love sponsors that don't come. They pay. That is gold.
So Michael's class today
We got that today at 2 o'clock.
2
No,
to
sorry,
4,
not 2
so
o'clock,
within an
2 o'clock.
hour.
All right. Yes.
If we speak,
Dan, we like.
Michael. So whoever actually missed the first session with Paige Martin and her team, we're gonna have 2 upcoming sessions. The first one is on April 10th, and the other one is on April 25th from 12 to 4 p.m. If you missed the first one, please attend one of these 2. Master your listing presentation in 2 hours with Power Lister Deluxe with Michael Bossart and Tanya Blandini.
So those of you that used Power Lister before, you maybe have not done a whole lot of listings, maybe you haven't done any, and you need a great presentation. So we have revamped KW Power Lister Deluxe, and that's going to be rolling out pretty quick here. We're going to take you through how to set it up on whenever this is, Friday. So please be here. Becoming a listing agent, transitioning to a listing agent, Lisa, makes all the difference. Incredible buyer's agent, but now she's turned into an awesome listing agent. Yeah, it happened because through necessity, being a buyer's agent in the next few months is going to be a lot tougher. Being a listing agent, you will dominate. So let's get really, really good at this. Come to this class.
Next, we have a meet and greet breakfast Tuesday, April 23rd from 10:45 to 12 p.m. 3 things you should know with Safety Committee. April 23rd at 1:30 p.m. Property Revival, converting distressed properties into listings with E.L. Crane. Thursday, April 25th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Polish and Professionalism in Real Estate happening on April 30th from 1 to 3 p.m.
Oh, that's a Polish. Okay, I got it.
They got used to my accent, Sal. I love that. It's another language. KW Hub Cultural Update. We have the Cinco de Mayo Happy Hour, May 3rd from 2 to 4 p.m. We look forward to seeing you all there. Here.
The town square. It's going to be a good time.
And now, does everyone know what Red Day is?
What's Red Day?
So, giving back. Melanie, you cannot participate.
Okay. What is Red Day?
Source.
What is Red Day? So Red Day is the day, it's the second,
So since May 2009, right?
yes, I think. I
They
believe
set
that,
aside
yeah,
the second Thursday of the month,
of the month of May.
yes, to
Um,
renew, energize, and donate back to our communities, right?
Correct.
Go ahead
Yes.
now.
Okay. So this year we are going to use our time. So it's May 9th from 9 to noon. We will be at Kids Meals up in Garden Oaks. And I'm going to give you a couple stats that Kids Meals gave to me today. It's estimated that 80,000 preschool age children in Harris County live in food insecurity since COVID. 80,000. And 90% of a child's brain develops between the ages of 1 and 5. So not only are these kids hungry, but they could have obviously lifelong issues because of being malnourished. Kids Meals feeds 8,500 preschoolers a day. And that's during the school year. And on the days where all the kids in the house are home, 14,500 meals a day.
And
Might be
how
the-
much of that is paid by the taxpayer?
None. I mean,
Nothing.
yeah.
This is all through donations.
It is a nonprofit. They were founded in 2006. They've delivered 14,300,000 meals. So what will we be doing in those 3 hours? Packing lunches and making sandwiches. So you can scan the code. I told Kids Meals, I committed that we would take their entire facility, which means we need at least 100 people. You can bring family, you can bring friends. If children can be there as long as they're 8 or over. We will sign community service for kids for high schoolers that need those credits or those hours. If you would like to deliver, which if you've never done that, it's very humbling. If you'd like to deliver, that's going to be a different sign up, but you can deliver. You will have to have a background check. So again, it's a great organization. I committed that we would fill that entire building. So again, bring your friends, bring your families, bring your clients, right? Clients like to know that, that we do give back.
Guys, we are God, family, then business. And you're only giving really barely a couple of hours to helping, to doing something that's community, that'll make you feel great. This is who we are as a company. It's not about the money. It's about doing great service. The money comes after. Please participate in this.
Thursday, May 9th.
Nice.
Let's make it 150 if we can, just
Oh, wait.
around 100 actually. The more the better.
Okay. Well, that is awesome. Great job already, guys.
73 to.
Oh,
Sign me up, Micah and I, so 71.
whoever's managing that, I want them to manage bold. They're killing it.
Thank you, Melanie.
Okay, we still have that other thing we're gonna do,
Okay,
right?
Melanie, go ahead. You have,
We have other things going on that week, but we really want to focus on these 100 slots, and then we can we'll fill you in on the other events that we have going on.
Linda?
Yes.
Looks like you're rich.
We have raised $217.
Well,
All we did today was truly just ask you for $1 per ticket. And we are just, what we're going to do is we're going to do this win-win. We're just going to take 50-50. We're going to be like, we're going to donate. Half of it's going to go to the winner and half of it will be going to KW Cares. So we're just going to do this at every team meeting because I want to see that pink filled. You see that back there? We want to see that filled and we're just going to do it.
So KW Cares is for our agents that are in need of us, actually. We are here to help you when you have a big problem. Like Michael, when we had the flooding, how many agents have you helped? I was not here, but I've heard.
We had Harvey. $1.1 million flooded. Many had never had a deal before. Right, we have 1.1 million they gave, not to be paid back. That's the culture of, that's a big reason why you should be sitting in another office that doesn't even think about that. Yes, to date, last 4 months, has given $1.2 million back to employees, same kind of program. Given back to our agents. That's the company you're.
Okay, so if you didn't do this today, on your transactions, there's a little spot right there. Just add $1, $5, $10, whatever it is of your transaction, and we're going to build up this number. But we're going to start here as well, too. So every team meeting, make sure you bring cash. So I'm going to do this, and I'm just going to keep coming at y'all. So we're going to do it. We're going to pick a winner. All right, let's see. Roger, you go ahead and pick a number. Yeah, shake it, because if you have your tickets, let's get ready. Let's see. And somebody's going to win $108 cash walking out right now. I know. All right. No, you're going to.
317 174 1754. So ending 754. What?
No, wait a minute. You must be present to win. No winner?
Again, 317 1754.
Yes.
Sarah Anderson.
Those are 2 piece tickets.
Goofy is gone.
Oh.
That's what okay, 31714.
No. She won $108 and another $108 will go to KW Cares today.
Perfect. Thank you, Linda. Great job. If you have any question in regards to contracts, please feel free to reach out to Mitch or to Bell at 281-408-0214. Again, 281-408-0214. And now the 201 Club with Julie. Next, Brendan. Compliance updates from Mitch. Mitch, please come on up. Quickly, Mitch. There is too much long. What we made.
Hello, how's everyone doing? Who here has done the Fair Haven through NAR? Only one? Get on there and take a look at it. It's eye-opening. All right, how about who goes on to Facebook for Member Focus Mondays with HAR? This whole month they're doing fair housing, and the interview on this last Monday was really interesting. Did you know you can use Section 8 to purchase a home? Yeah, okay. That's what I have. All right, slide.
Oh, good picture, Mitch.
I don't know about all that, but anyway. Next one. All right, we have lost a couple of our preferred vendors with home warranty, so we have to update the form. So right now, the only ones we have is Home Warranty of America and Super Home Warranties. So these are the new forms. They are already in .loop. So when you're and DocuSign. So when you take a look, make sure you're using the most recent one. Next. All right, y'all heard about the TCPA lawsuit from just last week. On April 2nd, a complainant filed with the U.S. District Court in Western District of Texas alleging Keller Williams, The Woodlands violated TCPA, and they named the agent also.
All right, so Gary Keller paid
$40 million.
$40 million.
44 million.
Yeah, 40 plus million, who's counting, for our agents because we got into a lot of trouble calling on the do not call list. Now it's happened again. This office will be responsible for it.
Yes.
So just know that we will be responsible, us together, if you get in trouble for calling someone that is on the list. So please be sure to look at the list. How do we find that list?
Next slide. Okay, you know the cold calling policy is cold calls and text messages. You have to check to see if they're on the do not call list. Can you call expired listings?
You can call them all day long.
No, you cannot if they're on the do not call list.
We didn't add that.
Huh?
You won.
Michael's just testing. Okay. If they've made an inquiry, like through the property line, you can call them for 3 months. After that, you must have written permission. Next. In the fines, FTC can be up to $43,792 per incident. And the complainant on this one has two incidents. And that's FTC. Then you have the Federal Communication Commission, that's 16,000 per violation. Plus state do not call, 100 to 25,000 per call. All of those add on together. There's an agent with Keller Williams here in Houston that paid 6,000 a couple of years ago. Must check it, especially with Bolt coming up. All right. Can you call for sale by owner? No. If they're on do not call list, you cannot unless you have a qualified buyer who is interested in that home. You can't call them to find out if they want to list with you.
You keep adding that do not call list one,
not
right?
call.
You
Do
can't
not
just
call.
lay out the question and say, can
Yeah.
you call them? And they,
Check the do not call. If they're on the do not call list, no. Not unless you have a buyer with a buyer's representation agreement, can you call them? And they're looking in that area. Yes, ma'am?
Repeat the question for everybody on
Sure.
Zoom.
If you have a client who might be interested, so I guess the house you think meets their criteria, well, then yes, but you have to have a client. Well, of course, got to have a buyer's rep to have a client. Otherwise, you have a customer, which is a whole different ball game because of the settlement. Yes. I believe it's on the next slide. I think so. All right, how to access the DNC. Register on telemarketing.donotcall.gov.
So telemarketing.donotcall.gov.
You can do there, but we also have www.dncscrub.com, which is the company. The account name is KWRME. Username is going to be, I'm sorry. Username is your email address, your kw.com email address. And then the password is K capital W rocks #1 period. You have to, a lot of people forget that period. So you need to be checking that.
Can I call them back?
Yes, you can, because they've reached out to you, so you've got a business relationship with them. Asking for a friend. Any other questions?
Any other question for Mitch?
Yes.
Go ahead, please.
If they've inquired. So like with the property desk, if they call, we can call them for 3 months.
Hey, guys, can we send out
Up
that
to
link
3
to
minutes.
everybody?
Mhm.
Okay, the link is going to go out. You don't need to take a million pictures.
Yeah, yes. Yes. You would still, I would consider you still have a business relationship. You can show consistency.
Yeah. Anyone else? Perfect. Thank you, Mitch.
Thank you.
So for the months of March, we had a competition, open house competition. Who will be like hosting the most open houses? If you have hosted one open house, please raise your hand. If you hosted 2, keep your hands up. 3. Keep it up if you have 3. 4. 4. Just the months of March. 4. Have you hosted 4? David? 3. Who did more than 3
Linda,
open
how many
houses?
you got? 4 over here.
4 over here? Anybody did more than 4? And the winner is Linda Aber. Please come on up. We're gonna take a picture for that, for you and I. And our April competition will be who's gonna be getting the most listing. And we're gonna be waiving 1 month of agent bill for the winner. For April, if you get like the most, if you are the winner. For the March, the open houses, you posted 4 open houses, so you're the winner. We had that competition on March 12th. So we're gonna be waiving 1 month of your agent bill. Congrats, ladies. Photo. Uh-oh, whoa, I have to be in the photo.
Sorry, Roger.
Thank you, everyone. See
All
you
right, guys,
tomorrow.
thank you very much.